Hey, yeah. Are you going mad? Am I going mad? Are we as Kenyans going mad? Because what did we oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I don't even feel like I should have come back at this point with another episode because I've been trying as much as possible to find time to, create an episode with the right energy and just be as candid as possible and as funny, quote unquote, as possible. But oh my God, I can't believe this is the episode that I'm returning with. Anyway, guys, welcome. This is another, let me call it a ranting episode because I am in distress, to be honest. Because what has been happening back home, in our country is really depressing to even look at. I am not there, but I feel like my body and my whole existence is still in Kenya because I am enraged completely. I know I would have been out there every single maandamano ningekuwa hapo nje. I am looking at videos. I saw videos of yesterday. When was it? Sabasaba. I saw videos of my hometown and I'm like, oh my God, I know I would have found myself there. And you see people getting shot at. You see people getting dragged when they're dead. Oh my God. Ah, this thing is really hitting hard, especially when you're far away because I know first and foremost my family is happy that sorry for laughing, but I know they are happy I am not around because I would have been outside. That's 100% known that I would have been outside because these are crazy times we are living in as Kenyans. And my dream has always been to see this particular guy out of the seat. We made, of course, the wrong decision to actually give him power. I don't care whether you say you didn't vote, whether you say you voted for another person. At the end of the day, we all are Kenyans and we all had a part to play in it. So right now, I think that there needs to be an agreement that there is no need of fighting each other on the front of this guy's voted for this guy, see what their decisions have led us to. We all are suffering the same way. If it's taxes, all of us are suffering the same way. If it is on people dying every single day, we are all suffering because you just don't know when it will be your time. You don't know when your family member will be the one that you're mourning. So it's really tough being a Kenyan right now. Even wearing a wristband with the Kenyan flag feels like you're a hypocrite at this point because you're like, first of all, we cannot really have a united forefront as Kenyan people because everyone there are people who are completely against this government and there are people who are still in support, and it asks, oh my goodness, when I see people actually in support of this guy, I really have never understood how humans work. But then again, you sit down and you look back at how humans have made decisions in the past years and even from your own experiences, and you realize, yeah, we are not far off from being stupid people. Because sorry for that word, but we are not far off from that. Right now, my only prayer is for him to be ousted of that seat, to be completely removed. And it is unfortunate that the only way that can lead us there is probably not making peaceful protests like other countries like Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka, where they had to occupy State House, where they had to, endure days, continuing days and days and days of violence, fighting with police officers and special units and whatever. These guys had the guts to actually stay outside day to day to day. The governments shut down internet and they still roared on until they saw, the complete end of that, of the respective leaderships. But for us Kenyans, I think we have a cutoff point in our systems. We don't have that kind of what should I call it? The kind of zeal to be outside for that long. I think we love ourselves to a point where we can agree that we are fighting against oppression and a government that does not care, but we can't see it to the end. We don't have that zeal to be actually outside and say we are not leaving the streets until this guy is out. And that, I think, is one of the points that the so-called president is banking on, because he knows Kenyans love to work. He knows Kenyans are very hardworking to a point where they'll rather just give out one day of protest and then on the next day people will go back to normal to normal lives. People go to work. People will just walk over places where just a few hours ago there was a body lying there with blood. People will open businesses. People will go to hospitals. People will go to clubs. People will go for events like there is nothing that has happened or we've not lost lives, which doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense how we can just switch up in like 3 hours. You sleep and you wake up and you start again how life was. You completely throw away what has happened. And everything that we are doing right now, everything, especially going to normalcy after every maandamano, is something that the government has now seen is a pattern, and the only thing they need to do is just be prepared for the next time. And that is what, in my head, I have been asking myself. I remember when we were outside on 25th of June 2024, when we were occupying Parliament, I was in the streets and people at around, was it 4 p.m. or 3? And people were saying, that's when the news that the military was being deployed came out, and people are like, yeah, the military is coming, we need to go home. And I remember myself asking these guys, what do you mean we go back home? Where exactly are we going? And there is no victory yet. Like, we were occupying Parliament, but the reason was for this guy to actually go. And I remember telling people, we cannot go home. On a serious, we cannot go home until we are successful. But unfortunately, we found ourselves home. People were killed, a lot of people. And we moved on like it was nothing. We moved on for a whole year. And you don't think this particular narcissistic guy didn't go ahead and plan a whole system whereby if we ever tried again, then he would act in a way that this person has a plan. And that is what we've been seeing, even with the anniversary of the June 25th protest. We saw a person who was very, very articulate into knowing how to just deal with such protest. We saw it. I don't know if people saw it, but me, I saw it. I saw a person who's gone back to the drawing board and made every single plan to actually counter every kind of protest that will come out. I saw a guy who went, I don't want to call him, he can't be a master planner, of course, because he doesn't know how Kenyans are going to react. But the moment we create particular dates, let's go out on 25th of June, and it's like 2 weeks away, you're giving this guy time to even prepare more. Apart from the 1 year that he's had to restock some crazy kind of tear gases and live ammunition, you give him another 2 weeks for him to actually draft a plan with the police on how to contain people, on how to cause confusion, and that's it. That's basically it. And I don't think Kenyans are angry enough to actually go out without planning anything. Because we have to give ourselves time to prepare. And I don't think we are at that point. I don't think we've reached our threshold for being that angry of just being outside. I think I don't think we'll ever get to that threshold on a serious note. I don't think so. And for me, this started when just still last year, I started noticing how we Kenyans function if we wanted change. Because this system is not something that is very different from its citizens. Because even as there are people who are in support of this government, we have all been involved in keeping this government very successful in whatever they're doing. Because there are people who are involved in corruption. There are people who are keeping this system up and up and up. There are people who are holding it, and we might not know, but we are all in that system. And for it to be broken down, me personally, I believe it's a spiritual matter at the end of it, but it also involves the physical and the mental. Because we have to agree a system has been created, and these are the fruits that we are bearing as Kenyans from all the decisions that we've been making for years and years and years. And so fighting that kind of system is really hard, because you have to go on all fronts, as I've said, mentally, physically, spiritually. But when we talk about spiritually, we have the church, which is complicit. And this also angers me, because how are you a pastor? How are you a quote unquote man of God, and you go every Sunday to preach to your flock, and you don't probably even talk about the situation in the country? Sour. You don't even read the word that you claim to be teaching your flock about God. Does not give you any kind of conviction to just be against every single bad thing that is happening. People are receiving envelopes, and you sit there and you still call yourself a man of God, and you, oh my God, such kind of lives really don't make sense to me at all. I don't understand how people just live their lives like that. Personally, I don't even like standing in church altars, because of how I'm afraid God might punish me for the wrongs that I do. I am always afraid of it, even in my home church, to just stand there and lie or do anything. But that's the truth of the matter in these days that we are living in. And it's crazy. So this is a whole system that has been created with people, and you can just see it is normal. The greed that we have, it doesn't matter whether you're a lawyer, you're a church pastor, doesn't matter if you're a Muslim or a sheikh. All people have been compromised. All people. And even the ones that are against this kind of system, we do not even understand how we can plan, sit down, and actually make this system go away. It is hard. For me, I know it is hard, because when you're a Christian and you look at things, of course you see this as the end days and all these things. But at the end of the day, you still want to see a better country for yourself. You still want to serve God and feel like everything is working towards, the society changing. It doesn't matter if it's the end days. You can still fight. You still are supposed to be fighting for the good to be happening, for the right thing to be done in every single situation that you are in. It doesn't mean that you should just sit and pray and things end there, and then you go back to your normal physical life. No, I don't think that's Christianity at all. It's not. So yeah, this is a ranting episode of me just talking about what I feel. Because it is quite depressing to see bodies on the ground, man. It is depressing. It is more depressing to even think that you might be the next one, or you might be the one who's lying there. Probably we are very afraid of dying. People want to see a better tomorrow, but we will never achieve that. Every single day, people are dying. People are literally dying. I see people on Twitter talking about ICC should come in, or the UN, and I'm like, guys, on a serious note, like, look at the world. These bodies that we claim to give them, we think they have the power to do things they do not do with other countries. We have Sudan, we have Somalia. There are a lot of examples that we have. We have Palestine. Everything is happening, and I think people should look at it from a point of that these are also human beings that create the so-called institutions. And if they themselves cannot stand up for injustices in their own personal lives, then that function of finding justice as a body, as quote unquote are supposed to do, then it cannot happen. It all starts from an individual level. And that's where I was coming to. We have to find that justice by ourselves as Kenyans. We have to sit down, agree that this guy needs to face justice in our country. And the best way possible is for us to get him out of that seat and get people who have the track record to ensure that the law is followed. And this guy is thrown behind bars, not in some ICC jail or blue collar or white collar prison. No, awekwe kamiti kama nawekwa. Now what? Yesterday I was just thinking, I had a really funny thought of, we should remove him, arrest him, and then we create in like 6 months, the person who will be elected as president should go and build, the first action should be to build a new prison. I don't know, in Lodwar, Marsabit or there, and arrest every single person. Arrest every single police officer, kila mtu, wote, we don't care if you're good or bad, arrest them, put them there. Arrest every single person who was involved in all these things and put them there, from politicians to the servicemen to every single person who has been involved. And until now, we find evidence that this person was not involved in any kind of misdoing or killing, then you can only leave. That is the only way, I think, for me. I don't know, that's a reaction I would do if I was president. Because right now I'm even thinking about how I can be president just to see how justice can come about. It's really crazy. Because if you just look at the potential that our country has in everything, we have hardworking people. Everywhere in this continent, Kenyans are known for hard work. Kenyans are known for creativity. Kenyans are known to be very productive, even at home. You can see people are always waking up every single day wanting to become better, wanting to do better. Now imagine a system that works and a country that is as beautiful as Kenya becoming successful. We would have been the light of Africa. Sorry to say. But yeah, Kenya would have been beautiful. Kenya would have been beautiful. Very beautiful. Because you look around at the creative minds we have. You look around at the sheer willpower that we hold when we come together as Kenyans. To even support people who've suffered from things, disasters and all. That spirit of togetherness that Kenyans have, that come together. I wish we could have that. I wish we could have that in this particular side of life. To just look for that justice. And ensure somebody has been taught a lesson, because where we are headed to, my God, Where we are headed to is bad, man. We are already in the pits, but where we are headed to? Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how we are going to handle all these things, but where we are headed to, my goodness. My goodness. I am going to even throw in an apology for missing out on uploading episodes. I've had a really, really crazy month or 6-7 weeks of integrating and adjusting my lifestyle. But yeah, I'm still taking my time to understand how my life has changed. But I think what I'm coming back to realizing is that the Cordial podcast is a coping mechanism for me, and I need to get back to it on a serious note. The Cordial podcast has always been, it has become an integral part of my life, whereby now I can take it as a pillar in my life that I know will serve a purpose. And I think I need to be serious with it. I need to be dead serious with it. But I know these are the kind of experiences content creators have, whereby consistency becomes an issue. I had promised myself not to face such issues, but clearly I am human and not Superman. So yeah, I'll try as much as possible to upload episodes, especially on the integrating part. But yeah, this is life. This is life, man. Well, I don't know how we're going to handle it, but I've been fine personally. I'm trying to be fine in everything. Yeah, even as I miss home, I'm trying to be fine. So I hope wherever you are that you're safe, first of all. Even in anger of what is happening in the country, I hope you've... it's crazy to even say this, but I hope you're safe. I hope you're alive, and I hope you stay alive. So have a blessed day, have a blessed week, and a happy new month. From wherever you are, happy new month. I hope the protection of God is over you guys. So, yeah, this is the end of the ranting episode. I don't think I want to continue because I will continue it for like a whole hour ranting here, wondering what exactly I'm doing. But yeah, see you when you see me. Bye, guys.